Hello viewers, join me as I'll be tutoring you on how to make this lovely beautiful Zara cap. Join me. Good day to you my viewers at home. Today we'll be learning how to make our popular demand Zara cap. And in making the Zara cap, we'll be needing these following items to complete the work. We'll be needing our tape rule, of course, our tailor's chalk, our pins and needle, our scissors, thread. Then for this design of that will be at the back of the Zara cap, we'll be needing a foam. Then we'll be needing of course our marco and the material that we want to use for the cloths. Now I've cut out all the fabric we needed for this Zara cap to be completed. Now I have this for the cap. Meanwhile, this is the stretchy part of the cloth. This is the stretchy part of the cloth. So the clients I want to do it for, around head is 23. Around head is 23. Then I have 24 here, 24 and a half here, because I'm still going to sew after cutting. That's for the cap. Then the breadth, I have 18 for the breadth. Why I have 18 for the breadth is that I don't want the cap to be too long. I don't want the cap to be too long at the back. So the marco, I've cut it out. Where I have marco here, I have 2.5 inches by 19 inches. Then for the design of this cap, I'll be having, I've cut off the material, and I have here, I have 9 inches width. 9 inches width. I have it by 60. It's the full length of the cloth. So this is actually by 60, the full length of the cloth. Then the foam part of it, starting from the beginning, I said foam is part of the material for the design that will be at the back of the cap. So this is the foam, and I've also cut the foam out. So the foam will be a little bit shorter than the material, So I have 9 by 60 here. So the foam I have 8 by, on the foam I have 8 inches by 56. I have 28. I double it because I double it. So if you add 28 plus 28 together, I have about, okay, this is 28 and a half. So that's, I have 57 for it. This is the wrong side of the cloth, and this is the right side of the cloth. So the wrong side of the cloth, don't forget, should be facing the upper side. It's facing me right now. This is it up here, where then I'll be leaving like half inches down here, because I want to use it to turn the marco. I'm turning the marco with the half inches. So just follow me as I do. So now I will be folding the marco with the cloth, using the cloth to fold it, and then I'll pin it down to the end, so that while I'm sewing it will not be moving around. Yes, now the marco has been inserted into our cloth. I've successfully inserted the marco. So the next thing that we'll do here is, this is why I said leave some allowance such that we shift this line, you know, we just drag it a little bit in. I'm dragging it a little bit in so that we have this. The line will no longer be showing, so the line will be at the back. Can you see it now? So now that I've been able to turn it a little bit to the back, I've been able to turn it to the little. So the next thing to do is I will now take it to the machine. I will now hold down the marco. I have to hold down the marco. I'll sew it very close to the marco so that the marco will not be moving up and down. So I'll do the same thing to the other side too. While I'm sewing, while you are sewing, please make sure that this part that is sewed is, you know, you turn it and sew it. It's turned, is at the back while sewing. Take notes. While you are sewing, let it go like this and sew it down at the back here so that the sewing part will stay. If you don't sew it down, if you just sew it this way, then it will not stay. It will still be showing. But once you sew it while the sewing part is at the back. So you sew it this way. Then the other side too, I'm going to hold it down too. The next stage now is the sewing of the cap. You know, now the next stage is to sew the cap. You know, I said the head circumference of the client is 23. So I have just about one more to sew. So this is actually 24. So the 24 inches now, I will sew with just 1 inch. Don't forget, this is a stretchy cloth. I use the stretchy part of the cloth to sew the band, so I don't need to add more to it or reduce from it. It's just that 23 just perfectly. So I'll be sewing with just 1 inch, and this is the way to sew. If you want to sew it, you know, I take 1 inch, I take it right this way. I'm going to be curving it down here, and if you don't know how to do a curve here, take your tape rule, measure 3 inches down, measure 3 inches down, then mark it. When you get there, you do the curve. Now let me use our tailor's chalk for example. This is 3 inches down, 3 inches down. You mark it, and this is just 1 inch to sew. So I'm going to be sewing this way. So when I get here, I'll do a curve. Do you see the way I did it? So now the length of the cap I got after the sewing, I got 11, just exactly what I needed. So the length I got now is 11, and that's exactly what I needed. I don't want the cap to be too long so that it will not have too much of rough edges at the back. So it's just the perfect size I needed. So I got my thread. I'm going to be cutting off the excess at the edges. Yes. So now I'll be doing the gathers, and the gathers, I'll be running the gathers now from here. Are you seeing the way I'm doing it? So now I've finished doing the gathering of the cap. I've finished gathering it, so I'm going to knot it very well now. Video. I'll finish securing my cap, then I'll turn it over. So this is what we have. Very lovely cap, so lovely. So this is why I said I don't want too excess back. That is why. Now here is the foam cut out and the fabric cut out. I have my fabric. I have length 60 because I actually want the design to be very full at the back. So I have length 60 of the fabric and I have a shorter length of the foam, which is length 57. Reason being that such that when we are sewing, the foam will not be showing, so it will be covered up with the remaining allowance. So what we do next is that we are going to mark out the middle part of the fabric. We will map out the middle part of the fabric. This is the fabric. This is the right side of the fabric and this is the wrong side. So the wrong side is facing up. And this is the lunge part of it. So we just need to put the foam and the this is the midpoint of both. Midpoint of the foam, midpoint of the fabric. Now when we are sewing, turning over to the right, you can just pin it down so that it can be in place as we are sewing. So now I have my needle and thread already. I'm going to be sewing. Don't forget, I said, we're going to be sewing this and we're going to be sewing it on the foam. Don't forget, we are going to be sewing right on the foam. Where the foam is, that's where we'll be sewing. But this part now, we're going to be covering this part because of the design. So when we are sewing, sew this way. So just watch me as I do it. So we're going to be sewing all through. So now I'm done rolling my stitches to the design. So don't forget a cuff here, and when you are finishing the other part too, there should be a cuff in the other part too. So I'm going to make sure that I have a full design. So okay, now all the edges, rough edges, I can cut them off now. The excess, cutting the excess. So the coffee side of it. Okay. Now our design is ready. This middle side of it, I'm going to be placing something on it to cover it up. The petals, the design is going to be covering this side of it. So now we're going to be attaching the design right just on where we gather, this particular band side. We're attaching the design to it, and you can see, I've not even attached it, you can see how beautiful it's looking. Now this is after fixing our design. You can see it, this design has been fixed. So it has been fixed. So now after fixing the design, there is need for this place to be covered up. Then the place is wide, and I'm actually going to make another thing to cover up that place. So I've already measured up the space of that place. I think I have about 3 inches by 3 inches. So that's what I have for to cover up that rough place showing. So now I have this, and I already cut it out. So I made it 6 by 6 by 6 inches. Just follow me as I use it to create something to cover up that particular back. Now this is how the design is going to be done. Just follow me as I do through. So I'm just going to run stitches round the cloth. I'm just going to run stitches round the cloth. I'm just going to run it round it. So now I've finished gathering what I actually cut to make the design. Now don't forget, I said 3 inches is at the back. Is a space that I want to cover up. So after folding the cloth, I have just exactly what I needed for it, which is actually 3 inches for what I actually needed. So now what I want to do to this right now is that I'm going to fill it up with fiber. I'm going to be filling it up with this fiber. I'm going to fill it up with this fiber. I think I have what I wanted now. Yes, I have what I wanted now for the middle. So I think at this rate, I'm just going to tie it up. So now I'm going to be attaching it and could use it to cover it up to this. So I'll be doing it at the back of the camera, then I will come and show us the last part of it. And here is the final product of our lovely cap. Final product of our lovely cap. Here is the final product of our lovely. If you love it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and like my page. Thank you.